I can certainly have children without being married.
Yes.
You agree with that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I would argue that that's probably the bigger, having children is the bigger motivator than just simply being married. Okay. So I can have children out of wedlock, and then I can have a long-term girlfriend. So what is the difference between being married and having children and being in a long-term relationship and monogamous and having children? What is the differentiation there?
I didn't get to my third point yet. And
Only in a woman imagine.
When it comes to motivation, though, I'm sticking on to your second point. When it comes to the motivation component, is your third point going to address the differential in motivation?
It is going to address the connection when you are in marriage and relationship. It's going to address the intimacy and connection, where your partner is actually going to be backing you no matter what, and your partner is going to be by your side, and you will be growing together. And it is the connection that is important. That typically when you are in just a relationship, and you went with divorce rate. Divorce rate happens when you choose poorly. Yes, and it is high divorce rate.
I don't think. So it's the men's fault. Okay.
I'm not saying it's men's fault. I'm not saying. Did you hear?
No, you said when the man chooses poorly.
No, I said when person chooses poorly. So women, they can make a poor choice as well.
Yeah, they can, but women overwhelmingly initiate divorce.
Exactly.
I don't know statistics on that.
It's like 70 to 80% of
Can I
divorces
add
are
Well, you see, when you choose the woman who actually has the values and right values for the family, that's when you end up in a percentage of secure relationship.
If I could
and without the divorce.
I think in addition to what you were saying regarding like passion and kind of emphasizing the relationship through marriage, regardless, that's still applicable in any term of relationship, whether it be long-term, without marriage, and that of in marriage. So I can still have the same passion per se in a relationship with Brian, where I'm connecting to him and I'm giving him all of my support constantly, regardless of being with a ring, regardless of having a ceremony. I can still actively do that. That's completely just up to my integrity and to the passion that I have for that one person. So that's not to say that that's incapable and impossible for somebody that's in a long-term or short-term committed relationship. That's still applicable. What you guys are emphasizing is just somebody's choosing to give that emphasis in passion. That is applicable. So that isn't a valid point. Somebody just being married doesn't mean that they're always going to give passion, care, and have the charisma to actually to emphasize their whatever. It's an insurance to have.
Then they're in the wrong. They should because they committed to it. So yeah, that's fair.
So
wait, hold on. I know you wanted to come in, but I want her to finish point number 3, and then Andrew wanted to come in. So go ahead.
Well, my point number 3 was actually about that true connection that people have and being able to reach to those. To the deepest level of intimacy, which is when people are holding themselves back, which actually addresses what you just shared. When people not willing to make a full commitment, it's like they're restricting they're putting walls. So for the woman to fully commit, when man is not committing fully, he is almost like helping her to activate their insecurities, of some sort of insecurities in her. When woman knows that man is 100% committed, that gives her peace.
Yeah,
I think that should happen prior.
Yeah, so
marriage.
I want to give you kind of the counter argument to this is that's a very gynocentric view, right? Oh, well, if you marry her, then it'll activate your resources. Well, hang on. Let me finish.
If you pick the right one with the values.
Hang on. I just let you put your whole point out. Let me put mine out, and you can counter it, okay? It activates his resources. Resource level activated, right? The button is pushed, and now the resources, he's going to be making that money for her, taking care of her. How kind of her to allow him to activate those resources for her. And then when we move to your third point here, it's if you give her the commitment, she won't be so insecure. Well, how great and swell for her that she won't be as insecure if you commit to her and can then have your entire life wrecked, destroyed, and become fleeced because of these overwhelming percentages of women doing that too. So
if you choose,
all of this seems highly gynocentric, and it's putting basically all the responsibility on the men, as far as I can see.
No, Andrew, I have high respect for you, but again, I want to talk. I was talking about when men chooses high-value woman. Woman is the one who actually creates the relationship. She has to be the love and care and joy and support. She has to be 100% committed. Everything starts with the woman, first of all. So high-value woman, she will be backing her man no matter what. No matter the troubles he is going through, no matter the financial challenges, no matter his habits or whatever. She is by his side. She is becoming that fuel of that of the relationship. Woman is capable of either inspire her man and motivate her man for the all kinds of things that he didn't even know possible, and we go for everything: the financial, the sexual, the emotional, and everything starts with the woman.
Yeah, that just seems like really basic stuff, though. Like you're kind of the way that you're framing it. You're almost framing this as like this is a really special thing that a man gets, that they have a basic level of loyalty from a woman and she's not being a backstabbing bitch, right? Like, that just seems like that just seems like a really basic thing that they should be doing anyway and not like it's extra. It doesn't feel like it's an extra thing that you should be getting on, you know what I mean?
If it is so basic, why women are not doing it? That's where, the results, what is going on, right? Why the guys are feeling deprived of the love, attention, gratitude, appreciation. So if it is so basic, then why women don't do it? We have the pandemic of men who feel they don't get love from the woman.
I think it's because they listen to women too often. I think that's one of the primary reasons that they listen to terrible fucking advice from women all the time.
No, they're switching to porn.
Here's the thing. Here's what I've learned from doing this podcast so much. Here's what I've learned, right? It's not just that that women have really stupid takes a lot of the time, but it's also that women give each other some of the worst fucking advice I've ever heard, but they really give men bad advice.
Exactly.
They give men
Andrew, can I add something?
terrible advice about what it is that they actually want. Fucking terrible advice, right? So every time I hear about
women,
one of these, the next woman who's like, look, the last guy I was with was a narcissistic jerk, and he was an awful junkie, and he was emotionally abusive. And we go, really? Well, how long were you with him? And they're like, 6 years. Well, okay, what about your last relationship? Oh, he was great. How long did that last? 2 months, right? And I think to myself, okay, there's some disconnect that's going on here. Right?
Yeah, so what you are describing, Andrew,
because the thing that you, hang on, I'm almost done. The thing you claim you hate seems to be the thing that you go for the most. And then you kind of pretend that that's not what you want, and it's super weird to me. I don't understand it. And then when I hear your advice is like gynocentrism. Tell me this specifically. What the fuck is a man getting here besides just basic human decency from a woman under your program? Exactly. Like, what does he actually get?
So, Andrew, what you are describing low-value woman. First of all, it is not high quality. The low quality woman will go to her girlfriends and will speak badly about her man, and she will get the understanding of her girlfriends. Yes, the high value woman, she will not be speaking badly about her man. She will, first of all, she will not judge him for his actions. She will look at the root.
Can I add
where
something?
It is actually coming from, his behavior, his emotions.
I know, but that sounds like it sounds like that's the basic expectation men should have in a relationship. It's a very basic. Completely. I'm asking above this idea of a basic expectation that I would get from a friend. So I would expect a friend of mine to also not be a backbiting, conniving piece of shit and to get my back in the various situations I find myself in. Even if he didn't, hang on, even if he didn't agree with me. So what am I getting above that of what I would get from just a basic friend from this gynocentric program of yours? Give me the thing that I get.
You get complete 100% emotional connection. You get support.
I don't think you
get
not in every marriage.
The person who actually hears your needs, and they're 100%.
That's what I always wanted: deep emotional connection with a woman. Right? That's what I always want. I wish Santa Claus would bring it to me my whole life. A deep emotional connection with a woman. That sounds awful. It sounds awful. The thing is,
unfortunately,
you know what I think? You know what I've noticed most men want? They want a really shallow emotional connection with women. They don't want a deep emotional connection.
That's
Right?
the
They don't-
society what
and-
creates
Not all
men
men.
and women right now. Everybody,
Not all
yes,
men.
the shallow.
Can
but
I-
that's
Yeah.
where AI comes in, and that's where AI is going to destroy the humanity.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that it's not just men are like this or just women are like this. We are all human beings and we're all doing things wrong. Second thing, first of all, if I were a man, I would not get married since I know women so well. And unfortunately, I do have amazing girlfriends that I love, that I know that they're amazing. But the majority of women out there are damaged from social media, from growing up, from whatever it is, right? But like Andrew said, if a man wants to get married today, what's the point? You understand? What? For having kids, he can have a donor. If he wants somebody to clean his house or cook for him, he can pay for that nowadays. And today, unfortunately, most of the women looking just for a provider without giving the work and the effort for the men. But if a man lucky enough to meet a good woman, like for example this woman that look like she's loyal to her husband.
Thank you. It's so
Okay,
nice.
if men lucky enough to meet the right woman that would be there for him, okay, I would go to that extreme, even if he cheats, or even if I'm not talking about a guy to go every day with a different woman, but even if he traveled and he had something with another woman, she would be strong and smart enough not even to mention that, right? Because men and women built completely different than one another. And to have a relationship within the marriage, women, unfortunately, we are born to have a certain amount of time to have kids, to raise the kids, and to grow up gracefully. And now the women don't want that. They want to extend it for a long term, to do whatever the hell they want. They want to abuse men after they have babies and emotionally confused with the hormones and everything. A lot of the women treat men like, sorry to say, but like shit. And a lot of the women that I know like 5 clients at least, for the last 2 months, they're telling me how they're cheating their men very, very creatively. And when I'm looking and hearing these stories, I'm saying, what's the wonder that a lot of men don't want to get committed? And what's the wonder that a man go on a date and prejudge a woman when you have so many women like that that's the only thing they care?
Can I
You
bring up the
understand?
point made up in the comment recently? You might have. And her point in the comment was basically, I think she said she was from Uruguay. Or
Uruguay.
It's below the threshold.
Oh,
It's like
no,
Ar-
sorry.
it was like
She just
Argentinian.
made a good.
We're not gonna. I mean, we just for the sake of the other people who
Not to
donate
reference.
above the threshold.
Okay, no. So then I'll
I
talk
think
about something
1,000
else.
in Argentina is like it has to be USD.
So in Costa Rica, for example, I traveled to Costa Rica. I stay with the host family in Costa Rica, and I remember her telling me that there, like 10% of the people that are together with kids are actually married. It's the expectancy that you stay with your person. They don't need this contract in order to then go above and beyond, like you're kind of mentioning. It's where you find your person. You're always with your person. You raise kids with this person, and you don't need a legal binding contract in order to confess your love or prove your love to a person.
Yeah,
so
and
I
then
agree.